What's going on, everybody? I'm Howard Bender from Fantasy Alarm. It's time now for your Week 9 Fantasy Baseball Stock Watch. Players are rising and falling in value with each game that passes, and with your Fantasy Baseball waiver wire looking kind of bleak, it's time to start checking in with who those buy low and sell high candidates are to help you work out a few Fantasy Baseball trades. So let's take a look at the players who are rising and falling in value with a little 3 up, 3 down. And we start with the risers. It begins with Joey Ortiz, third baseman for the Milwaukee Brewers. He also qualifies at second base, so you love that multi-position eligibility. A lot of people forget Joey Ortiz was one of the key components coming back to the Brewers in the Corbin Burns deal. He's entrenched himself at third base right now. And while, yes, he did get hit on the foot with a pitch in Monday's game, he is day-to-day. The x-rays were negative. What we want to see is more from Joey Ortiz in that 6-game hit streak that he was on before he got hit. He was batting .455 with 2 home runs, 4 RBI, and 7 runs scored during that streak. And I expect Ortiz to build off of that momentum upon his return. Next up, how about Luke Raley, first baseman / outfielder for the Seattle Mariners? You know, it's kind of funny when a player gets pigeonholed in as a platoon player, people kind of forget about him unless they're playing in a daily league and they have deep benches. Well, Luke Raley's actually played in 20 of the last 23 games for the Mariners, and he's on a 7-game hit streak, actually. 7 games, batting .500 with 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 5 RBI, 6 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. So maybe Luke Raley sits against some of the tougher lefties, but for the most part right now, he is in this lineup as a regular contributor, and he is stuffing the stat sheet. And then finally, on his way up as well, how about Alec Burleson, who is now the official DH for the St. Louis Cardinals? Listen, Tommy Edman's not coming back until July, and you're looking at guys like Brendan Donovan and Dylan Carlson, who are just not going to keep Alec Burleson down, especially with the way that he's playing right now. He's on a 6-game hit streak. He's got 5 multi-hit performances in that span, and he's got 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 4 RBI, 5 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. Listen, the Cardinals probably aren't going a whole hell of a lot up in the standings here. These guys are going to continue to play. Alec Burleson has proven that he is worthy of a starting spot. It's a very lefty-heavy lineup, so I'm not too worried about a right-hander supplanting him. If anything, he'll probably supplant somebody like Brendan Donovan, who needs to hit that bench soon. So Alec Burleson, definitely on the rising side. Let's talk about who the fallers are, the 3 down. I'm going to go to Nico Hoerner here. I know I've had Nico Hoerner in here before. And guess what? The last time I had him in here as a faller, he turned around, he started playing well, started stealing bases. So maybe this is the kick in the butt that Nico Hoerner needs. But the dude hasn't played in 6 games right now while he nurses a hamstring issue. And what we're going to see is he's being reevaluated. He could land on the IL. Now, if you have Nico Hoerner, he's obviously a stash. He will turn it around. If you don't, you're hoping that he is going to hit that IL because it will be retroactive to, I believe, May the 10th. And then, boom, you're looking at him coming back, him stealing bags, but his owners are going to be super frustrated. So this is probably a really great buy low opportunity for Nico Hoerner, especially if he lands on the IL. Also on the way down right now, how about Spencer Steer? I mean, the Reds in general, with the exception of Elly De La Cruz, are all struggling here, but Spencer Steer's now hitless in his last 5 games. He's nursing a little bit of an ankle injury. And, you know, while the whole team is slumping, it's a very tough group to get fired back up. They will come. The ball will start flying out in Great American Small Park, and Spencer Steer is somebody to keep your eye on. If you can try and buy low on him, I highly recommend it because later on down the road, he's definitely going to pay off. And then finally here, Jake Burger. I don't know, insert any spoiled meat reference you want to do here, but Jake Burger looks absolutely atrocious right now at the plate. Since coming back from the IL on May 6th, Burger's now batting .098 with 1 double, 1 RBI, and 1 run scored. That is terrible. You're talking about 13-game span where he's done absolutely nothing. And here's the worst part is that we know that the Marlins aren't going anywhere. So there's going to be a little bit of a fire sale. They signed Burger on a 1-year deal. I guarantee you that if there's a team looking for a right-handed power bat to come off the bench, they're going to inquire about Jake Burger. Low average guy. It's tolerable if he's hitting for power, but he's not. So probably best to kind of cut ties with Jake Burger here. He might heat up and start hitting a couple of homers, but he is a trade candidate. He's not going to be playing regularly for long, and that's not something that you need. I got a full article here with even more detail, more stats, more suggestions over at fantasyalarm.com right now. So go check out the Week 9 Fantasy Baseball Stock Watch. And if you don't have a subscription to Fantasy Alarm, do yourself a favor right now. Go to fantasyalarm.com/win. Use that promo code Let's Go. We'll give you half off of your first month. Trust me. Subscribe to the family today. It'll pay for itself. I'm Howard Bender of the Fantasy Alarm. We'll catch you next time.